All right. Well, here's a tough one. The terms x plus 3 and 2x plus 1 and 5x plus 2 are all consecutive terms of an arithmetic sequence. That means one after the other. So we have t of 1, t of 2, t of 3. And now it says find the value of x. What we're going to do is right away figure out d. And we know that d is the second term minus the first term. Or we could get d by going the third term minus the second term. Well, here is the second term. D is the second term. Subtract the first term. But we have to put it in brackets because it's the whole thing. D is also the third term, which is this one, 5x plus 2, subtract the second term. Okay, well, let's do these separately. We need to find a simplified version of d here and a simplified version of d here. And both d's are the same. Look what we can do. We'll distribute the negative 1 through, so we have a 2x plus 1, subtract x, subtract 3. Make sure you get that negative sign. And now we'll collect the 2x minus x will give us a positive x, and then a 1 minus 3 gives us a negative 2. So d is x minus 2. Now over here we have the same thing, negative 1 times this bracket. So we'll have 5x plus 2 minus 2x minus 1. Collect our x's. We have 5x take away 2x is 3x. And we have plus 2 minus 1 is a plus 1 for d. Now both of those are equal. Together, d is d. X minus 2 is the same as 3x plus 1. Now what we need to do is solve for x. That's what the question asked for. Now there are two ways to do it. You just want to get x's on one side of the equation. If you decide to subtract 3x both sides, you can do that. What I do to one side, I do to the other. This makes a zero pair, and I'm left with 1x minus 3x is minus 2x. So I've decided to put my x's on the left side. Therefore, I'm going to put my numbers on the right side. So I want to get this to be a zero pair by adding to both sides. So I have a 3. Now I divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. That makes an x equals 3 over negative 2, which is the same as negative 3 over 2. All right? But what if you decided to put your x's on the right side? You could totally do that. How would you do that? You subtract x both sides. There's the zero pair. So you have negative 2 equals 2x plus 1. And now subtract 1 both sides. Negative 3 is 2x. And now you're dividing by a 2. X is equal to negative 3 over 2. Same thing. X is equal to negative 3 over 2. Either way is right. We've solved for x. Good job. Last one. Given an arithmetic sequence where the sixth term is 4 and the 11th term is -1, find the first term. Show all your thinking and describe your procedure. Draw yourself a picture and see what you can come up with. We have the 6th term, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, t of 6. The value is 4. And then we have the 11th term, where the value is -1. And we're asked to find this one. What you can do is zoom in on this part of the sequence and relabel the parts. We can say that the first term could be a 4, and the 11th term turns into a, now how many terms is it? Now you have to remember that the jumps are calculated. So the number of jumps comes from 11 minus 6, which is 5. So 5 jumps actually means n is 6. And if you don't remember that from a previous question, make up a smaller sequence off to the side to prove it to yourself. N is 6 here. And do we have enough information? Let's see. T of 1 is 4. And yep, they told us that last term there. And now we can get D. And that's very helpful because D is the same over here for this part of the sequence. So we'll zoom out after that. All right, so T of n equals T of 1 plus n minus 1 times D. And we're using T of 6. T of 6, the value is -1. T of 1 is 4. And then we have 6 terms. And there's the D we want. So -1 is 4 plus, don't forget the plus, 5D. We want 5D by itself. Make this 4 disappear, or a 0 pair. What I do to one side, I have to do the other. So I have a -5 is equal to 5D. Divide by 5, divide by 5, because what I do to one side, I do the other, and I've got D by itself. D is -1. Fabulous, because now I can go back and I can use that D value of -1 in the whole sequence. Back to the original sequence. What do I mean by that? Well, the 11th term they said was -1. The first term we're looking for. The n value is 11, and yippee, the D value is -1. We've got T of n is T of 1 plus n minus 1 times D. And let's plug in. -1 equals, the first term is what we're looking for. And then, don't forget the plus, 11 minus 1 times the -1. And you need a bracket here, don't subtract. We have -1 equals T of 1 plus 10 times -1. There's times in between there. We have -1 equals T of 1. Subtract 10, because 10 times -1 is -10. And we'll add 10 both sides. And T of 1 is going to be a positive 9. And there it is. Now, could you check your work? Of course you could. You could take T of 1, you could say, okay, I've got 9, and then I know that my D is -1 each time. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 was for the 6th term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And then 7th term, 8th term, 9th term, 10th term, 11th term. Oh wow, I can do 2 things at once. So yeah, that's the t of 11. The t of 11th term is -1. So we know we got it right. Great job.